I'm calling to order the March 18th Parks and Recreation Committee meeting. I'm Commissioner Nick Stahl. To my right is Commissioner Ben Oziski. Mr. Ben Venuti is not here tonight. Our Township Manager Matt Hanlon. Our Parks and Recreation Director, I always forget to do that, Pat Stacio. And our attorney, Sean Kilkenny. Are there any announcements?
There are none.
Acceptance of the minutes?
Yeah,
Any issues?
good to me.
Okay, move that ahead. All right, and then we have Parks and Recreation report.
Thank you, Commissioner. Before you have the February 2024 Parks and Recreation departmental report. It's broken up into 3 categories: administration, recreation, and maintenance. I'll touch on a couple of highlights and then be happy to respond to any questions you might have. On the administrative side, we continue to discuss and communicate with all of our granting agencies. We have several grants that are in the process or of the work being done or reimbursement requests. So there was a lot of time spent this month communicating with all of those granting agencies. Likewise, a lot of communication with the contractors and the architects for the cottage out at Farmstead Park and the improvements being made there. We had to review over 80 applications for the secretary/receptionist position vacated by Karen O'Brien, who retired. We had over 80 applicants and almost all of them were extremely well qualified. It was a great pool from which to select a candidate. In the recreation side, Kate has been working to get our men's co-ed and women's softball league information out to all the returning coaches and update all of the rules and regulations. And February is an extremely busy time for the recreation staff, Kate and Jen, as well as everybody else in our office, to prepare for the summer programs. Our summer registrations open up on March 4th, and we'll talk about that later in this meeting. But it's a lot of hiring staff, securing buses, securing room locations at the school districts, securing outside agencies where we're gonna take our trips. So it's a lot of immense detailed work that happens in February so that we're ready for registration in March. And on the maintenance side, there was a lot of snow removal this year from our crews. We responded to some broken equipment at Dawson Manor Park. Actually, what it looks like there is that the earth is sinking in certain areas of the playground and it caused some breakage in the play equipment. So our crews went back out, dug up the area, reconcreted, filled the low spots, reconcreted, and made Dawson Manor playground safe again. And we began construction on some new archery range bale holders. The archery range holders, brackets, are the same since I got here in 1988. They worked well, but I think they've exceeded their life expectancy. So there's a picture there, and I know our archers will be happy to shoot at our new targets. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
I'd like to hear a little bit more about the farmstead improvements.
We actually have a meeting tomorrow morning. Alan, myself, the architects, Kate, and the contractors will be out there. We ran into some issues with some of the rafters and some of the silt plates. We got all of that resolved. And now it seems that the weight of the roof, because of the new roof that's going on, might be heavier than the previous roof. And tomorrow we're going to resolve that issue and talking with the contractors and engineers so that it doesn't put added pressure on any of the upright walls of the cottage. It was slowed during the winter because we had to resolve some issues architecturally. And then of course the weather was bad. So the project, which we were hoping would be over by the end of last year, spills into this year. We're still looking at a, end of April completion date. So I think we're back on track. We just need to resolve this little issue tomorrow.
All sounds good.
Any update on Veterans Park? What's going on over there?
Well, anything in particular? We did remove the roller hockey rink. You may recall we've been waiting for SEPTA. I think you've been brought up to speed on that. They discussed possibly moving the train station. So we didn't make repairs to our roller hockey rink starting in about 2017 and 18 because we had hoped that the changes would occur by now. The delay in SEPTA just deteriorated the rink rapidly to the point where it was not salvageable. So we removed the entirety of the rink. We did get a contractor to bring some fill in at his own cost. He was looking to get rid of some fill and topsoil, so he did that, and that has been placed down. We do need to seed and straw the entire area so that we'll get grass growing back there. The basketball courts are still there. We do need to put up a new backboard and rim. It was vandalized. One of the courts, one standard was damaged, and we do have some crack fill from this winter on the courts that we need to do a temporary patch on. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any comments from the community? All right, well, next I'm going to call up the library board. Trustees.
Good evening. My name is Anthony Giannetti. I represent the Upper Moreland Free Public Library Board of Trustees. First, thank everyone. We failed to tell you how much we appreciate all your support. You know, Commissioner Olszewski, Ben Venuti come to our meetings. I'm sure you have better things to do than come to those meetings, but we appreciate it. And your input is really appreciated. I'm in Ward 6 and I live on Sherwood Road. Just a couple of things. First, we have mailed the flyers for April to each one of the offices. So if you wanted to forward those to anyone, a lot of information about story times and different activities at the library. Just a couple of things I want to point out. There's a new app at the library called Beanstack, which allows people to track their reading, earn badges, just an incentive to get more reading, and it's been very popular. The library has increased digital usage by 40% this year, so the resource is not just books, it's mostly digital for a lot of people. They don't rent books, but they rent digital books and everything else. So we continually address that, at the meetings we discuss how can we serve the population, and so obviously increasing the amount of digital information is important. And finally, there's an eclipse coming, and on April the 4th at the library we're going to have a make your own eclipse viewer, so you'll get to watch the eclipse and we can give you some information about how to make that. That's about all I have. Any questions?
No. We're not going to see a full eclipse, right? We're just going
No, it's partial. Yeah.
I think we're in like the 80 or 90% range, something like that.
You say so.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I read that online, not knowing what it meant, but yeah.
You have to drive to some far place, and then it may or may not happen, and it only lasts 4 minutes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have any old business, but I have some new business. I would like to have our committee introduce the idea of giving Pat Stasio a little more responsibility in approving projects, because every year we have a project, we have to have a resolution by the board, to have animals somewhere, or to, as we used to say, fire muskets at the festivals and stuff. So I'm going to put it on the agenda for our next full meeting. I'm not sure what the parameters that we'd have to do
You'd have to set the parameters, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a suggestion, or?
Well, so we have an ordinance as to what's permitted and not permitted. I guess we would have to amend or change.
We have to amend the ordinance,
Yeah,
so that's going to require something else to be drafted, maybe with a suggestion, an advertisement, and then a vote.
I'd be happy to work with Alex in your office to come up with something to bring back to this board for next month. Would that be acceptable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And discuss it at the board meeting. Hopefully pass it. And then we have other items, summer camp registration already.
Yes, so it was on March 4th, and I like to bring the commissioners up to date since this is our most popular program and a lot of commissioners get phone calls or emails. On March 4th, we opened registration at 9. At 9:08, we had 330 kids enrolled in the program. So in 8 minutes, most of the program filled. A lot of those were from home, although we did have about 30 people come in to register in person. Right now, we have 344 registered for our summer playground program. which leaves 1 or 2 openings in only 1 or 2 of the grades right now. There are wait lists in other of the grades. And that's dictated, the maximums are dictated by the room size that we have, the busing capacity, and the agencies where we take our trips. So it's not as easy as just saying we'd love to take it. We would love to take everyone, but we don't have the space to take everyone. So we stay within those guidelines. If people want to register right now and they want to get on the wait list, please do so. There's many times where each grade, which is a different program, 3 or 4 kids, up to as many as 10, will drop out of our program for various reasons. So as soon as that happens, we go to number 1 on the wait list and then number 2. So I would encourage people to get registered on the wait list. I think the program filling so quickly, and just the fact that it fills is a testament to the hard work that's done by Kate and Jen in our office, the quality of leaders that we hire, and the affordability of our program to keep it as cost efficient as we possibly can for all of our residents.
Very good. I'm looking at my friend Alan Sentman back there, and I know he had an ask tonight also.
Hello, hi, good evening. My name's Alan Sentman. I represent Farmstead Alliance, and I'm here this evening to seek approval for an event that's coming up on June 2nd, Sunday, June 2nd, from 5 to 8. The format's going to be in the form of a beer garden, and we're looking to bring certainly more than 50 people to the space. In so doing, one of the things we're doing, assuming that we will get approval, we will be getting a license for a special permit for selling alcohol and for the purposes of raising money for the park, for the farmstead. So that's really, we have the date. We have some planning that's going on currently right now. I just wanted to get it through the proper motions. So.
Yeah.
Are you hiring someone to distribute the beer?
We're going to hold the license, and we may, through contract breweries to come in, more than one or 2 or 3 have tastings, as well as the food, which could be coming in the form of catering or a food truck. We've not really sort of solidified that yet.
Well, if they're, as I understand it, if they're serving it, they have to be licensed.
Correct, yeah.
If we're serving it, we have to get a 1-day permit from the alcohol and beverage.
Right. And since we've done this, since our organization has done this in the past, we only need a 10-day lead time up to the event. I don't want to wait that long, but obviously we want to make sure that we get everything situated and know how we're doing it, which is going to happen here in the next couple of weeks. But I wanted to get the ball rolling because it's coming up soon. So yeah. I don't have any other things to mention. There's be passive activities, lawn games. It's gonna be a very laid back environment. There might be music. It's all about the space and providing people when they come there ways to learn more about the farmstead. So.
Sure.
So if I may, Alan, you're asking for permission to have alcohol in the park. You're asking for permission possibly to have food trucks or other catering services in the park. Are you asking for permission to have DJ or music played in the park?
Yes. In case we don't, at least we'll have the approval to have it. And then, the reason why I'm up here is that if it was less than 50 people, we'd have to go through a different process. So I'm anticipating it will be more than 50.
Any animals or anything like that?
No animals, no fires. It's going to be 8:30 when it sunsets on the June 2nd, and it'll be warm. No one's going to be wanting to be interested in fires. So.
All right. We'll move that forward to the board for a resolution at our April meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any commissioner comments? Any community comments? We're adjourned. Thank you.